10 years, believe it or not, Apple's first iPhone hit the stores exactly 10 years ago today. Joining us now via Skype is our tech expert, Ryan Eldridge. Ryan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Today is just a great momentous day. On June 29th, back in 2007, the iPhone was officially put in stores, and we could all get our hands on this little device that Mr. Jobs announced back in January. I got him hanging out here behind me.
That you do.
What's interesting is that when the iPhone was released, the Mac had a very small market share. Apple was mainly considered like the iPod maker, and entering into the phone market was considered kind of silly. And there were a lot of other smartphone devices. BlackBerry ruled the market, Palm, Microsoft, Nokia, they all had devices and they were all doing really well. So when Apple came in, it really disrupted stuff.
I guess so. They've certainly gone through a lot of changes since the first one came out, but I would say, you know, it's good to have a computer in your hand, it's good to have a phone in your hand, but you know what? Maybe it's the camera that's really changed the world too. It's certainly in our field how we cover it.
Oh yeah, you know, the iPhone itself has disrupted almost every market that we can think of, from cameras. I mean, we used to have these little portable cameras we used to carry around, that's gone. We used to have little iPods we'd carry around, that's gone. And so now we've got this one device that can do all of this. And if you think about it, it's really the birth of social media, which doesn't really give, you know, iPhone doesn't get a lot of credit for this. Imagine trying to do your Facebook updates or your Twitter updates only on a desktop and not having a phone to do that stuff on. Back before the iPhone came out, all of that stuff was so tedious.
Right.
Browsers were terrible. If you remember texting, oh my gosh, you'd have to press like A 3 times.
That's
and
right.
6, 4, 7 times. It was
those old flip phones. Forget about it.
Exactly.
Well, talk about the pressure that's on Apple, because every 6 months to a year, they got to reinvent themselves to their stockholders, to the people out there. They got to make a bigger and better iPhone, and that's a lot of pressure.
And since Jobs' passing, obviously Tim Cook has been under a lot of pressure to innovate. But one thing that nobody really thinks about is Apple was never an innovator. What they did was they took existing technologies and brought them together and made something spectacular. And that's really what we're expecting with the iPhone 8 Anniversary Edition that's going to come out later this year. They're going to put in some existing technologies that we're already seeing from Samsung and LG and other cell phone makers. So you might see wireless charging for one, bevel-less or all glass, so that way you can charge just by setting it on your desk without having to plug it in. That seems kind of cool. There's going to be an entire screen where you can just press the screen anywhere on it and it'll read your fingerprint to unlock. Also, there's facial recognition, so that way it'll unlock when it sees your face. Again, all of these technologies exist in different devices, but of course, once Apple gets its hands on it, they're going to perfect it, and then everybody's going to give Apple credit for it.
Well, that's coming up in the next couple of months. I can only imagine the next 10 years we shall see. Ryan Eldridge, good stuff, our tech expert. Thanks so much.